Whenever I'm on a road or a trail like this, I always think of that poem by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet, knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I've always wondered what difference did it make. I mean, we've all stood at crossroads and contemplated which path to take, and ultimately knowing that we can never get back to the place we were before for a do-over. In the end, the narrator explains with a sigh that he took the road less traveled by and that made all the difference. However, we are really never sure if that was a good or a bad thing. But life, like mountain bike riding, is a mixture of pain and pleasure, success and failure, so we can assume that the poem is ending the way life ends, with a mixture of all of those things. I guess the best we can hope for is that at the end of our life, when we look back, that we have more things that we're proud of than things that we're regretful of. Today's ride is a local trail right near my house called the Mojave River Trail. I've lived here for over 14 years and went to college right next to the trailhead, but never knew it was here. We just recently discovered the trail when my wife went for a walk with a friend of hers, and her friend took her to the trail. Then my wife took me and my son to the trail, and we rode our bikes on it, and I fell in love with it. Not because it is a super long or technical trail, because it isn't either of those things, and it can be crowded sometimes, but what makes this trail special is that it is a little bit of peace, a little bit of tranquility, a little bit of hidden beauty right in plain sight of our city, a hidden gem of the pristine desert ecosystem. So here I am on the Mojave River Trail. According to Strava, I'm 6 miles in, averaging about 12 miles an hour. It's paved, but it's gorgeous. Gets you down here by Mojave Narrows, and it's just really pretty back in here. Fun fact, the Mojave River is one of the only rivers that flows inland, and the water never makes it back to the ocean. It is mostly an underground river and only occasionally pokes its head above the sands after large rainstorms. You can easily spot it in the desert because of the swath of greenery snaking its way through the otherwise khaki landscape. I can imagine this must have been a welcome sight for the explorers in the days of old as they were trekking miles across the desert and then all of a sudden saw the splash of greenery which indicated water. This trail got me thinking about how often we like to look away from our homes to find beauty and happiness and not see the things that are right in front of us. Most of the time, when we plan our vacations, it is to go somewhere far away and to see things that we think are prettier or more grand or more fun. When I lived in Germany some years ago, I traveled extensively around the country and found all these cool places to visit and restaurants to eat at and museums to go to and all these cool things to do in these little towns that I'd never heard of before. But when I talked with my German friends about those places, they were often unaware of them and all the cool things that they could do right in their own backyards. This was me with this trail. I got my attention. That's awesome. The trail starts at Victor Valley College and ends at Mojave Narrows Park. Mojave Narrows, according to their website, offers lush plant growth, acres of waterways, impressive strands of cottonwoods and willows, and broad meadows naturally growing as nature's God would intend them to do. The park is home to more than 1,500 species of wildlife, plus there's camping here on the two lakes. In addition, there's year-round fishing, disc golf, equestrian trails, a playground, rock climbing, splash pads, and hiking trails. How often have I said I wasn't going to ride today because I do not have time to travel to some cool trail or bike park, when instead I should have just jumped on my bike and rode around my own neighborhood and looked for the beauty that is often missed because of our ever-increasingly distracted and busy lives. I think sometimes we need to stop and just smell the roses. That was a lesson I learned from one of the coolest hospice nurses ever, but that is a story for another day. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. If you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. That way you can see all my new videos. Make sure to check out my other channel as well. That channel will have a lot of DIY projects and household stuff on it. Anyway, I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Take care, keep riding, and we'll see you soon.